Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. All right, let's get right into it. The U.S. Air Force has just confirmed it's building its next-generation fighter jet, the highly classified F-47.
And they're not wasting any time. The first flight is already slated for 2028. So the big question on everyone's mind is this the plane that's going to change the game for American air power? To really answer that, we have to dig into what this jet actually is. Because believe me, it's a lot more than just a new plane. It's a whole new way of thinking about air combat.
Now, on paper, the F-47 is set to replace the legendary F-22 Raptor, but this isn't just a simple upgrade. No, this is a fundamental shift in combat philosophy, a move away from the idea of a single, all-powerful aircraft to something, well, something much bigger. Okay, so let's look at the stats. At first glance, you might think, okay, Mach 2 speed, similar fleet size, looks familiar. But hold on, look closer. That combat radius, it jumps to over 1,000 nautical miles. That is a huge deal, especially for operations in the Pacific. But the real game changer is right there at the bottom. The core concept goes from being a single dominant jet to a family of systems. And that right there, that's the absolute key to understanding what sixth generation even means. It's not just about the plane itself. The F-47 is designed to be the brain of a networked team, the manned command center for a whole swarm of uncrewed aircraft that fly into battle right alongside it.
And those uncrewed aircraft, they have a name: Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCAs. You can think of them as these incredibly loyal, AI-powered drone wingmen. But these are not your simple off-the-shelf drones. We're talking about sophisticated jet-powered aircraft built to do specific jobs, extending the pilot's senses and firepower way beyond the F-47's own fuselage.
So how does this all work in real fight? Well, picture this. The F-47 pilot is like the quarterback. They hang back a bit, out of the most immediate danger, and direct the entire play. The CCAs push forward. Some are equipped as sensors, sniffing out threats without the F-47 ever needing to light up its own radar and give away its position. Then, other CCAs, the shooters, can engage those targets. The pilot goes from being just a pilot to a full-on battle manager, commanding an entire team.
But this radical new tech is really only half the story. To truly understand the F-47, you have to talk about its predecessor, the F-35. Because the Air Force is absolutely determined not to repeat the painful and very expensive lessons from that program.
And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from the Air Force Chief of Staff says it all. The F-35 program, for all its amazing capabilities, became a poster child for what happens when costs, schedules, and long-term maintenance go off the rails. The entire F-47 development process is a direct reaction to that history.
Former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall put it bluntly. He called the F-35's contract structure acquisition malpractice. The huge problem was that the contractor basically owned all the technical data for the jet's entire life. This created what he called a perpetual monopoly, making it incredibly slow and ridiculously expensive for the Air Force to do its own repairs or integrate new weapons. So, with the F-47, they're flipping the script completely. Instead of that closed, proprietary system, they're using something called a government reference architecture. What that means in simple terms is the Air Force owns the tech roadmap. They can bring in different companies to compete for upgrades, and those upgrades can be pushed through with software super fast instead of waiting years for new hardware. It's all designed to make the F-47 way more adaptable and cheaper to operate over its lifetime. Okay, so the tech sounds futuristic, and they're learning from past mistakes, but, and this is a big but, the F-47 is nowhere near a sure thing. It's a massive, high-stakes gamble, and a lot of people are seriously questioning the cost and the whole reason for its existence. Let's just start with this sticker shock. Each F-47 is projected to cost around $300 million. Let that sink in. Per jet. To put that into perspective, that's about 3 times the cost of an F-35. We're talking stealth bomber territory here. That is an enormous amount of money for a single fighter. And that price tag leads to the huge, nagging question that almost killed this program before it even started. Just recently, the Secretary of the Air Force went for a ride in an F-16, flown entirely by AI. So if AI is getting that good, and enemy air defenses are getting more and more lethal, does it make any sense to put a human pilot in a $300 million jet that might already be obsolete? This question really sparked a powerful counter-argument inside the Pentagon.
A lot of smart people started asking, wait a minute, why don't we just ditch these super expensive fighters and instead build a massive fleet of cheaper, expendable drones? The logic is pretty brutal and simple. If your $300 million jet gets shot down by a $1 million missile, you are losing that economic war. The debate got so fierce that the Air Force actually had to pause the entire program to rethink everything. And that pause is what makes this timeline so fascinating. Look at this. In May 2024, the whole program is on ice. But then, just 7 months later, China pulls the sheet off 2 of its own 6th-gen fighter prototypes. All of a sudden, the pressure's on. And by March 2025, the pause is over, and a contract winner is announced. This really fast turnaround has a lot of people worried that maybe the decision was rushed by outside pressure, not because they actually solved that big strategic debate.
Well, rushed or not, the decision has been made. The F-47 is officially a go. So what does the road ahead look like? How do they get this revolutionary new system off the factory floor and up into the sky?
According to the plan, Boeing started bending metal on the very first F-47 back in September 2025. The big milestone is getting that first jet in the air by 2028, with the goal of having the first squadrons operational and ready to go sometime in the early 2030s. That is a very aggressive timeline for a program this complex, for sure. When you boil it all down, the F-47 is the Air Force's definitive answer to what it thinks future warfare is going to look like. It's a huge bet that this combination of a manned fighter quarterbacking a team of autonomous drones is the one true key to controlling the skies for decades to come. But that fundamental question, the one that almost stopped the program, it's still out there. In a future that's clearly moving towards autonomous swarms and ever deadlier defenses, is a $300 million manned fighter the right bet? Or is it a massive gamble the U.S. might one day live to regret? We really want to know what you think. Is the F-47 the undeniable future of air combat? Or is it a fundamentally flawed concept? Let us know down in the comments. And hey, if you found this breakdown useful, it would be a huge help if you'd like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. We're always covering the world's most advanced military tech. And to keep the conversation going, you can find us on all our social media platforms. All the links for that are right there in the description below. Thanks so much for watching.